Hey friends, welcome to Mad Mere Dye. Today I'll be attempting a spiral DNA pattern for the very first time. I've been reading a lot of blogs and watching a lot of videos in order to learn how to do this pattern. I start out by making a usual swirl for a spiral pattern. I'm using a hemostat in the middle of the shirt to pinch the fabric gently. Just so you know, these are not the same thing as scissors. Don't use scissors. You could end up with a hole in the middle of your spiral. As I twist, I try to keep each of the creases even in both thickness and in height. As usual, I washed this shirt in textile detergent and then I soaked it in a soda ash solution for at least 20 minutes. This is going to help keep the pH where we want it with the dyes, as well as help the shirt maintain moisture while it batches. I go pretty slow when I fold spirals. Some folks are able to go a lot faster, but I find the shirt turns out a lot better when I really take my time. Once I have the edges wrapped around and folded, I will gently remove my hemostat. Today, I'm using some sinew to wrap around it just to get it to hold. This shirt is a little bit bulkier than a lot of shirts that I work with, so I am using the sinew just because it's easier to get those ends kind of tucked in. And once I've got it the way that I want, I just tie it off, and I did actually go in and add in a rubber binder just so that it will maintain some of that tension around the outside. Also, my hands are on the small side, so it can be a little bit tricky to get the rubber band on, but once it's on, it's there. Today, I'll also be using liquid dye. I pre-mix these up so that they're ready to go. I'm doing a brown with some blue and oranges, and I'm just sectioning off the shirt for the pattern that I'd like to use. So the DNA pattern works by having 2 sections over 3 or 3 sections over 4. The most important thing is that the colors overlap on the back side to the pattern that's on the front side. For those of you that follow me on TikTok, you know that I have been working on my spiral patterns because I've never really been great at them. So one of the things that I am concerned about is the saturation level for a proper DNA pattern to turn out. This is also the first time ever that I am trying this pattern on a spiral, so who knows if it will turn out. I decided to use a brown because I feel like I don't use enough brown in my tie-dye, and I was kind of in a retro mood, and these colors remind me a lot of my childhood in the early 80s. Once I finish the first side, I flip it over and I will do the pattern on the back. So I'm going in with blues, and my hope and idea is that the blues will be the opposite pattern of the 3 colors that I used on the other side. I am trying to be generous with the dye because I want to make sure that it does saturate through, although I'm not sure if I'm using enough. I also went in with a lighter brown to kind of give the swirl a little bit more color and definition, and then I'm going back in with the brown on that half. Here's how the shirt turned out. I did not end up with a DNA pattern. I can see from this that I definitely needed to use a lot more dye so that it would saturate through better. I still ended up with a nice swirl situation happening, so I will still be able to sell this shirt. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how you think it turned out down in the comments.